Defending champion Georgia Bulldogs taking on the Oregon Ducks and their former defensive coordinator Dan Lanning, who's now the head coach of Oregon. So Stetson Bennett back to lead the Dogs after taking them to their first national title in over 40 years. And in that title game, he exercised his demons against an Alabama defense that got the better of him in his first two meetings against the Tide, including the SEC championship game, which Alabama won. Bennett threw 2 touchdowns in the national championship game, did not turn the ball over at all after throwing 5 picks in his first 2 matchups against Alabama combined. Bennett with our Barrett Sallee today at SEC Media Days in Atlanta.
Joined now by Stetson Bennett, national championship winning quarterback of the Georgia Bulldogs. I guess, Stetson, take me back to the title game. I know you're looking forward, but last year, after that game, when you're on the podium, you said, I don't want to be the guy that loses the national championship. Mm-hmm. And the game had not gone your way, 3 quarters, and then the fumble. What was that moment like on the sideline after that fumble, knowing it's on you now?
Yeah, I mean, it was... You know, I've got this thing in my, I honestly can't remember if it's Instagram or Twitter bio, but it's, you know, ebbs and flows. Like that's, you know, there's good things and bad things that happen. You know, obviously, I mean, I felt, you know, down in the dumps. You know, our defense has played an awesome game. And then I go and, you know, give them good field position. They go down and score. And, you know, I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know, man, that's tough. And, you know, it's a tough way to go out if you're going to go out like that. You know, but, you know, all, you know, said, everybody came off the field. Your defense came off the field, go get them, go get them, go get them. You know, this isn't it, this isn't it. Offense supported me, and then Monk called, you know, those ballsy plays that he called, you know, and I didn't know that was going to happen, but as soon as it did, you know, I was sitting there and, you know, you can get timid sometimes after you throw a pick or, you know, keep thinking about it. And so I just, you know, turned it off. And just went out there and played football, and you know we executed and had good protection. The guys went out and made plays, so you know, thank God for that. So
you're now the unquestioned starter, and Kirby was already in here talking about how you really haven't been in that situation for what 5-6 years, mm-hmm. and he challenged you to grow as a leader, knowing that this is your team. Mm-hmm. How has that been for you, knowing that all that you've gone through throughout your career?
In what way?
Becoming a leader, owning
the process to come in. Yeah, I mean it's. I take it as a, you know, anytime you can be viewed as a leader, especially to that many people, you know, it's a responsibility and it's an honor for them to view you in that way, and I think it's a testament to how, you know, you've worked over however many years it's taken you to get there, and yeah, it's, you know, there's extra expectations, but you know that's how you want it once you get to that spot, right? I don't know. It's been very, you know, rewarding, and you learn a lot of stuff because when you're in that position, you got to listen to the guys too. You know, you can't just do your own thing and expect them to follow. You got to listen to, you know, what they're thinking and how they want to run their routes, or how they, you know, want to do something different, and you know, hopefully, you know, take that into account and just do what's best for the team.
I saw you at a camp at Buford High School, probably 2014, 2015, and Trevor was there, mm-hmm. Jake Fromm was there. There were a bunch of guys there who have been successful, and you had the mailman hat on, and obviously you were trying to get noticed, all that stuff. I remember looking over going, dang, this kid can play. Mm-hmm. Why? Is it because he's undersized? Like, what's the deal? And you go out there and you succeed throughout the course of last season. What did you need to work on to become that complete quarterback? Because you were a complete quarterback in high school. This is a different animal now. What have you specifically worked on?
Well, I'd say it's just always being curious. I've always, you know, try to be honest with myself. You know, sometimes when you're on the field, you got to lie to yourself. You got to, you know, from, you know, if it's on paper, you know, you got to lie to yourself and say, you know, you know, I can beat Samson, right? And if you're David, right? And, you know, maybe it's a lie, maybe you just believe. But whenever you're out of there and you're working on yourself, then you got to look in the mirror and you got to be like, all right, where do I suck? And you got to be a harsh critic, and you got to be curious, and you got to go learn. And so I think just over time it's just built up, and just, you know, for 1 month I may be working on that, just how my arm goes here, and, you know, then slowly my release gets shorter and I get stronger, and, you know, we work on your core, work on your footwork. And I think it's just the combination of all that, just all of it coming together. And, you know, like Brady's still working, right? So that's never going to stop.
What's it like having 4 hybrid tight end wide receivers for you this year?
It's almost a safety net. Like tight ends, because they're so big. Yeah, I mean it's pretty nice. They're pretty freakish, all of them, and they all love ball, which is, you know, I didn't grow up. My high school, we didn't have that many great athletes, so I grew up in a timing system, and I know where you're going to be, and we're going to trust that. And so, with another year in the system, you know, year 3 with Monk, you know, those guys are growing up. They're getting older. And I've had this whole, you know, spring and summer to work with those guys as the ones that once we get the timing down and get more continuity, it becomes a better offense.
What's it like working with Todd Monken with all of his experience? What's that relationship like?
I think it's grown a lot, and it's matured, and we've grown to, you know, trust each other, and kind of, you know, not one brain, but when he's calling stuff, I can kind of see, you know, what does he want here? What are we thinking? You know, is he calling this because, you know, they might run this, or blah blah blah? Like, what yards are we trying to get? We trying to take a shot? We trying to just, you know, get in better position for 3rd down? Just all those little intricacies that you only get whenever you spend time with somebody. I think that's what's happened.
Stetson Bennett, national championship quarterback of the Georgia Bulldogs. Appreciate it.
Well, thanks for having me.
Barrett Sallee with Stetson Bennett there. You look at Georgia's schedule, opening up with Oregon on September the 3rd. That game's in Atlanta. The Florida matchup always in Jacksonville. Pretty manageable schedule this season. They avoid Alabama, A&M, LSU. They cross over against Auburn and Mississippi State.
Do you want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis, no yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.